Hello everyone. Today we're gonna go over a new function called resolveRepeat. What this function does is it's going to repeat the lookup of a host and gets the IP addresses multiple times. Why? That looks silly. Why? Well, there's a reason. Because of load balances, when you resolve a host, you're gonna get maybe one or two IP addresses. But if you resolve it again, you will get other ones. And I want to have as many as possible for some host. There are various reasons for that. Mine is for Gluton, a VPN container. I want to have as many IP addresses as possible for one particular VPN server host. Um, so that is the function. So what the function does is it has a set of unique IPs, which is well a map of string and struct, um, and it's gonna call lookupIP, which is passed as a function. That is a method, the function signature, sorry, of a net.LookupIP. Why do we do it this way? So that we can easily, pass it as an argument for test. Um, it gives the new IPs. If there's an error, it returns an error. It iterates over the new IPs, and for each IP, it's gonna assign it as a string to the set of unique IPs. And at this point, we're done resolving that. The consuming part is here's the lookup IP. But anyway, we go on, and then we just create a slice of IP addresses with the capacity of unique IPs, the size 0, and so that we can append without having memory reallocation, which is performant. Um, and then we just pass back the string, we pass it into a net.ip object, and we append it. At the end, we finally sort the slice, sorry, of IPs by just comparing the bytes so that it should be sorted, let's say, alphabetically or in the same order at least, visually if you convert it back to string as well. And finally, return IPs with nil. We don't have any error. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is write a test for it. Um, so we're gonna do package updater. Uh, that is in the resolver underscore test file. So I'm gonna do func test resolve repeat. Oops. All right. All right. T.parallel because we want to run it in parallel with other unit tests. If you want to have reasons for that, watch the other video about the Unix sorted IPs function and test. I explain in depth why. But anyway, let's go on. We do test cases, a map of string and struct, where the string is going to be, well, the key is going to be the name of the test. Um, let's go back to that later. Oops, sorry, I forgot to define the struct. The struct is going to be, what is this function? So it is, okay, it does a bunch of things. It takes a context in. We should not really change the context for now. It takes a lookup IP function. It takes a host, which we might not really care, and n is the number of iteration. So what we're gonna want to do is we're gonna want to have multiple things here. We're gonna want to have the lookup IP, uh, let's say result, which is gonna be a slice of net.ip. We're gonna want to have the lookup IP error, which is gonna be an error. We're gonna want to have what else are we gonna want to have? We could have a context actually. Let's have a context. Let's have the context as well. All right. We're gonna want the host. Actually, no, the host we don't really care. We can just set it to constant. We're gonna want to have the n, and finally the IPs as the output and the error that we're gonna get. All right. So let's do one test case, which is gonna be empty for now. I will fill it up later. All right. Now let me go for name, test case, range, test cases. I pin the variable. All right, and I run the subtest with the name t testing the t. Oops. All right, and I run it in parallel as well. And now what we want to do is have okay, multiple things. I just call context the test case.context so it's a bit more clear, just for readability purposes. We're gonna make a lookup function, which is gonna be func. Wait, let's see. What is this? All this. All right. Let's just copy that. All right. This lookup function is. Oh my god, this function is huge. Sorry about that. All right. It's gonna be this, and it's gonna return. Actually, it's gonna do a bunch of things. It's gonna assert so that uh, the host that we give it is yeah, it's gonna do a bunch of things. It's gonna assert that the host we give it is the let's call it constant host. Oh no, it's sorry about that confusion. Our host is gonna be the argument host that we give it here, right? And host we didn't define it yet. We're gonna define it as a constant here. Constant host is gonna be blah blah, whatever. We don't really care in this case because it's mocked. Um, okay, so that's what it's gonna do first. What am I missing here? Yeah, that's all right. Missing return. Oh, yeah, indeed. Okay, so it's gonna assert that the host it receives is the same host we're gonna plug in. We'll see that in a minute. Okay, and we're gonna. What else are we gonna do? We're gonna. Okay, if the context it received uh, is finished. So if this is not nil, we're gonna want to return uh, nil, no IPs, and an error. Oh, context cancelled. Oh, it is not good. All right, it's not happy. And otherwise, we return the test case IPs and the test case and nil. That's all. Okay. Actually, no. We want to return the test case error, so we can really simulate everything. Uh, cool. Now we have a lookup function. Actually, let me remove that. Let's skip it to testcase.ctx to distinguish it with this one. All right. So now what we want to do is actually do the resolve repeat, I think. So we have IPs error coming from resolve repeat, which is going to be test case.context. We're going to have to change that. But anyway, we'll say that. Then it's going to be the lookup IP function, which is defined, and the host, which is constant, and the test case.n. All right. Let's put this here. Okay, cool. I'm not sure it's a good idea. Actually, we're just gonna, because this is internal to lookup IP, we're just gonna ignore that. We're just gonna, yeah, we're gonna ignore context for now. All right, just remove. We're just gonna pass context background, and that's all. Here, we're gonna pass whoop context dot background. All right, done. Okay, now what we want to do first is check the error. So if the test case, if we expect an error, then we want to require that we received an error, and we want then to assert. Require means this if this is not satisfied, the whole test will crash. So that because otherwise we'll have a panic, right? It's a null pointer, blah blah blah. So we don't want that. Then we want to assert that uh, that error has the same error message because why not? And if we didn't expect an error, we want to assert that there's no error. All right, doom. And finally, we want to assert that uh, the test case IPs is the same as the IP addresses we got here. Okay, that is pretty much the whole test is here with a mock lookup IP function. Um, Here we compare the errors That is the best way I came out with. You can use the new Go ease thing as well if you prefer, but I'm used to that one, so I keep on using this for now. We don't really simulate the context for now because this is a bit internal to lookup IP. Feels a bit weird to test that works because it doesn't have any other influence in our function. Okay, let's write our first test case. So what are we gonna do? Let's do let's do a successful case. Successful. All right, we're gonna have a lookup IP result. Oh, that is interesting actually because it should return multiple times different things, right? How are we gonna do that? We could return the same thing. Yeah, I guess we could return the same thing multiple times. Yeah, let's do that to keep it simple. Um, maybe? No, actually we shouldn't. Um, no, we shouldn't. We should return different things to really. It's not about coverage. It's not about test coverage. It's about the depth of the test. How will we do that? Okay, we can just do, I guess, a slice of the IP. Um, but just to make sure, because I know us developers sometimes we do silly things, so I'm just gonna do a require equal t. I'm gonna require that the length of this is gonna be equal to n. Actually, I can do len, which is even prettier. Test case this. Oops, test case. All right, because I want this. This should return n times, right? If there's no lookup IP error. If lookup IP error, oops, if test case, oh my god, this test is getting complicated quick, but is not is null, sorry, then we want to require that just to make sure we don't write any silly test case and go crazy about it. All right, so let's get to it. Let's start with one, which is gonna be uh, all right. So that's the slice of IP addresses, and we're gonna put one one oops, sorry, one and one one whoop, my god, I'm bad at writing numbers. Two. And here is one slice, and the second slice is gonna be oh, two here and two here. And let's do a third one. Let's go completely bananas. And I'm gonna put three here and the same here to test for duplicates as well. All right, that is good. We're gonna return nothing, nil. The error is gonna be null, so I just leave it blank. That's the same thing and go. And n is gonna be 3, and we're gonna have the output IPs is gonna be okay. I'm mega lazy, so I'm just gonna fail the test, I guess, to see what it gives and see if that's what I expect. But practice maybe, but well, sometimes you know you're a developer and you're lazy. And the error is gonna be null, so I don't put it. Done. So this should be successful. So let's run it. All right, what does it say? Ah, no, wait, what? How do you pass? How dare you? What have I done wrong? Oh, I think I'm not. No, I'm returning the IPs. Silly me. I want to return the lookup IP result, uh, which is gonna be. Okay, we need to keep some state. Oof, this is getting tedious. Let's do n here, and it's gonna be 0 here. And every time we call the function, we're gonna increase it. And here we're gonna say, oh, let's call it I actually for index. That's the programming way, let's say. All right, that should be more interesting now. Oh, great. Panic. What did I do wrong? Oh, yeah, silly me. I should increase it after. Uh, okay, can I do it? No, I can't. All right. So we're gonna do IPs here equal to that, and return IPs. Done. What? Ugh, result here. Got me now. All right, let's run the test. All right, it is not happy. Um, okay, it shows a bunch of things for IPv6 which I really don't care, and this clutters the log. So I'm just gonna fix this in the function on the left. Where is it? Okay, quite simple. It's just if IPv4, IP24, and if the IPv4 is not null, which means it is an IPv4 address and not an IPv6, then I want to assign IP to IPv4. I mean IPv4 to IP, sorry. Yeah, done. Let's run again. All right, now it is a bit cleaner. So what is the expected thing here? We have a bunch of IP addresses. First one seems to be 1111. Okay, cool. Second one seems to be 1112. Yeah, sounds good to me. Then 2111 and 2112 and 2113. All right. Okay, cool. Uh, well, let's put them one row on each. All right. Okay, so now let's see. The 2112 is not, it's a duplicate, but it's not here. That's great. All of them are here and they're all sorted. So that works. Yes, we made it. Great. So that test is a success, let's say. Now we want to add more test cases. Uh, to keep this video not too long either and not too boring, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna just do the error case, I think. That's the interesting part. Well, let's see the coverage. Let's just do a full coverage and call it a day. Yeah, the only thing missing is this part, the error case. You should obviously uh, extend the test cases to try with like empty slices and all kind of things. But for now, that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna return one because to keep it shorter. It doesn't matter because we're gonna return an error anyway. So look up IP error, and we're gonna say uh, feeling sick! Exclamation mark. That's gonna be the error. And sick of resolving host names to IP addresses. So the IP's return is gonna be null because we encountered an error. I think that's the behavior. Yeah. So I can just remove it. And the error is gonna be, well, this one, pretty much. I could put it as a global variable. Let's go 1.13 way, but nah. Failure. All right. Okay. Whatever it happens at the first time or the second time, it doesn't matter. We return null and error, so that's the same thing pretty much. Let's run it. Pass. Yay, we made it. All right. I hope I gave you a nice overview of how to write a test with and mocking a function. In this case, we mocked lookup IP. Um, The next step would be to mock interfaces. This is a bit more convoluted and requires some third-party libraries. I hope you enjoyed it. Next one will probably go over how to improve this resolve repeat using Go routines, because it turns out that the lookup IP here, which is actually net.LookupIP, is quite time consuming. It takes like about a third of a second for each resolve, depending on your DNS server. Um, Especially if you use, for example, I use DNS over TLS with Unbound, and that is very slow. So I want to fix that. I want to make this faster and resolve in parallel. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment if you feel like you want to hear more about anything, and I will be happy to answer back. Have a good day. Bye.